Good evening and welcome to the Whaler Guys. I'm Jerry Irwin along with Peter Hindle. Exciting week here in Hartford. We have a hot one today. It's about 88 degrees out there.
A lot of hot news stories too.
Hot news, hot playoffs.
Yep.
Hot Las Vegas Knights.
Yeah.
Right back to you again.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? They're going to send you a postcard and say, you know what? We want you to doubt us every year.
Yeah, that's true. But at this time, the playoffs though have been pretty solid.
Oh, amazing.
Over LA, over the Predators, which I thought that was pretty impressive.
That was.
Over Winnipeg in 5 games is what made that impressive. When you think about it, they lost the first game and it kind of looked like, oh, maybe Winnipeg is for real. Like they're gonna just walk. And all of a sudden, rattled off 4 wins. What did we just look? We were just checking out Fleury's stats here for Vegas Golden Knights. Mm-hmm. What an incredible pickup to get him, because you can't tell me that Pittsburgh doesn't wish like, hey, maybe we should have given Matt Burry.
You look at the whole team.
Yeah.
James Neal.
Yeah.
You have Marcia Salt. Who other teams?
Points.
Everyone else threw him aside and Las
the Rangers
Vegas
had him right
him
here in Hartford.
Yep.
That was one of the greatest things. Jonathan Audi Marchessault, and that was his rookie season in a pro setting, and he's here in Hartford, and he scores 60 points as a rookie in the AHL. He was in the top 10, 15, and they go, you're too small. We already got Zuccarello.
Hey, Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Uh-oh.
It's dark.
Facebook Live.
What's going on
here?
It
happens. But we're live here on the Greater Hartford Hockey Sports Blog.
Good evening, and how's it going, everyone?
We're, talking a little bit about the Vegas Knights here, and we looked at Fleury's stats here, 1.68 goals against average.
Amazing.
4 shutouts in the playoffs, a record of 12-3. I mean, I don't know if you saw that play where he slid across to make the stop, and then the puck came back.
Yeah.
And then he dove. I mean, it's just.
And he's a short goaltender.
Yeah.
He's not that tall, but he's very versatile in the crease.
He's in a good mood though. When you can tell when he's rubbing the post when he gets hit. He does that good luck, and then he was messing with the and you gotta like that. Goaltenders are quirky, and you want a quirky goaltender because that's how they are.
We thought that only occurred in Boston.
Yeah, exactly, right. So
and the other thing we have to look at is like we talked about, their plus-minus rating.
Oh yeah, we looked at that. There isn't a guy on the team that's got a minus rating.
No, it's amazing.
And not only that, we looked at the penalty minutes, and you think about this. Vegas has a guy. He's got 16 penalty minutes, the most. They played 15 games, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The guy's getting a little over a minute.
Per
That's
game.
your big threat?
Yeah.
I mean, so, in terms of getting stuck in a situation. And don't forget, when you do get Vegas in a disadvantage, and you have the power play, and they're trying to kill it, their penalty killing is over 80%. That's not really heard of in the NHL these days.
The teams, and we'll go back to the Bruins and Tampa Bay series.
Right.
That's what the Bruins lost.
Right.
They lost the series because they were in the box.
Right.
And Tampa Bay has just a phenomenal power play.
Right.
And you have J.T. Miller.
Yeah.
You have Stamkos.
Yeah.
And Kucherov.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know. Hey, I forgot. We have a big breaking story we should have probably let off with. That was what we were kind of supposed to do. Lindsay, we got the first picture of the C.R.D.A. And we have an update to this story as it's breaking news. It just happened about 45 minutes ago. The Hartford Business Journal came out with an article. But this originally came out yesterday.
Yesterday, correct.
Jerry got the key word that this was going to come out. So he got but he had to remain quiet. And so we knew that the C.R.D.A. was going to go after the XL with eminent domain. And I know eminent domain is a scary word. People think that, they're going to come and take something. But keep in mind that this guy that's owned this building, this atrium, has kept it vacant.
Who's that guy?
His name is Larry Gottsteiner, and he used to be an ally to Whaler fans, but now he's a hindrance. He's like, he's the new Markley.
He is
Yeah.
part of the Northland Corporation.
Right, and Northland Corporation, 10, 12 years ago, had over $500 million in the Hartford market. And that was great, and he wanted to go buy the Penguins back in 2006 and move them here, and we love that too. But the problem is that the atrium has been vacant with no tenants. There's been complaints about the bathrooms. If you've been in there, the escalators, the elevators, they all suck. I mean, I can't put it any other way.
And they're all broken.
They're all broken.
It
makes it
and Northland is not repairing them.
Right.
And the C.R.D.A. over the years have made some repairs to this property.
Right.
So it's really unfair. Just because we want to now go for a renovated XL Center, and this is the piece missing for us to get a new renovation off the ground.
Right.
And this little piece of garbage is now playing hardball.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to
where were you
Hartford,
for the last 10 years, like you said?
Yeah, I know, and it's sad too because, like I said, he used to be a guy that we thought, hey, this guy's on our side. But now he's causing these problems. And, it's if you've been to that building, and it's not fair to the Spectra, Comcast, who runs the building, because I've been to some of those meetings, and the season ticket holders go, well, our only complaint is the bathroom, and the atrium is terrible. We can't get down the escalator. They're always closed. And, it puts Chris Lawrence in a bad situation. He has to go, look, I'm sorry, I don't own that part of the building.
Right.
I can't control what they do there. But, we heard a couple years ago, remember the keys to close up the atrium were given?
Oh, yeah.
And so we thought that was a good sign. But it's just been so long. I mean, if he was in the middle of a project with the atrium, that's different. But if you're going to sit, and basically turn it into a vacant building, and don't forget, he's got the YMCA building right there on Jewel Street. Mm-hmm. That's been vacant since 2004 and became a detriment to the city.
Northland's big downfall is when the market took a turn.
It did.
And the property values all went down, and Northland was sitting there holding their whatever.
Yeah.
And, they lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
They've been in trouble before in the southern part of the state. I think it's New London or New Haven.
Yeah. That's where he's from. New London.
Yeah, but they owned an apartment complex that they were slumlords, and the state had to come in because it was bad. It was unhealthy living. So obviously this particular corporation doesn't have a very good track record in keeping up their buildings.
Yeah.
And maybe he's doing it on purpose. I don't know.
I don't know exactly what I understand that the market was a big hit and all that, and I'm sure he'd like to have tenants, and I think that those places in the atrium are up for rent. However, I've heard this from multiple people. The rent is ridiculously high, and I can't understand why people don't want to at least have a renter. You get some money for the property. It's almost like they're trying to show a loss on it so they can do something with their taxes or something.
Kind of like Carmanos.
Yeah, and you know what? You're holding up the city. So, it doesn't really help us at all. And the bad news about this is the breaking news. What we're telling you about is just what's described the last day or so.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and then about 45 minutes ago, the Harvard Business Journal came out and said, no eminent domain. The C.R.D.A. backs off their threat because the
GOP.
Yeah, the Republicans in the House and the legislature have gotten nervous.
I wonder if that's Markley.
It's probably something to do with Markley. I mean, he's known for making things terrible in Hartford. That's his MO. But what are you going to do? And the thing that's really sad about it, Jerry, is I think that these guys, and it's Republicans. It doesn't matter which party, but these guys that stopped the C.R.D.A. with the eminent domain, they think that this is not justified or something. And if you know Hartford and you know the atrium, this is justified almost with I can't go that far.
Don't get crazy.
It's justified with a tar and feathering type of thing, where it's like, get out of here.
It's almost like they don't want Hartford to succeed.
Yeah, I think that they really believe that, this eminent domain is not fair to this business owner. Well, if he's treating his property like trash for over a decade, sorry,
and it's a shame because we have to get this building up to
snuff,
modern standards.
Yeah.
That the toilets flush and everything else works. The water fountains aren't spewing all over. You don't have people crunched together like the other night for the Journey and Def Leppard concert. People were pissed off because they were all crunched together trying to get their beer.
Yeah.
They're spilling the beer all over their God blessed place because there's no room to walk in the concourse.
Yeah. Darn right.
Yeah, right. That too.
But
and all these legislators, they just drive in on 84. And, oh, we're at the Capitol. Oh, it's time to go home. Punch out.
This
morning, George. Morning, Ralph.
Yeah. And what? I don't even know if the legislature knows this. The C.R.D.A. has done 2 third-party evaluations of that property, and in that case, they presented both to Northland, and this is what the building's worth, or the part of the building. And we'll buy it from you. And guess who said, it's not high enough. It's not high enough.
Yeah.
You're trying to squeeze every penny, and they're really sticking it to the
taxpayer. He has nothing to say
right
high
now.
enough because he has to stand on a stool to talk to people.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just a shame.
And we have to give some shout-outs tonight. Robert Zanoli, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Rob.
Michael up in Rhode Island, good evening. Matt Berry, of course, our hero on social media. Sean Hayes up in Enfield at the Yard Tavern. They have a huge Whalers sign hanging on the ceiling. Go Whalers, and thank you guys for doing this.
Nice.
You're welcome, and it's a pleasure. If you're a fan, you're one of us.
Yep.
Joe Frenari, good evening from Bristol.
Hey, Joe.
And Erin McCall, she's probably over at Finnegan's Tavern in Burlington, a great place if you want to go out and have a nice adult beverage and some good food. And you can follow them on Facebook as well. They have a brand new Facebook page. Rob Johnson, good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
What do we have over here? That's
Matthew
about
Berry.
it. Matt Berry. He's
Hey,
watching
Matt.
on both. He's a multitasker.
Yeah.
So you know,
increases the viewership.
That's right.
It's the #1 show. You know, that's what we got to keep up our
and
style.
you have to remember, this XL Center thing is not going to go away. There was a legislator who said at the end of the last session, after the XL Center got trashed and they didn't give us any money for the XL Center, this one representative sat there and said, don't worry, by next year at this time, the XL Center will be squared away. Now, why would someone say that if he didn't realize that there was something in the works? Maybe what he was alluding to was this eminent domain, and then the Republicans screwed the whole thing up. You know?
I know, and it's a shame that they're getting involved, because they really should sit back and listen. You know, you brought up the great point there about this whole thing. You know, the eminent domain. How much is the property actually worth? And why would the C.R.D.A. even bring eminent domain into the public light if there wasn't something behind this? And this is all related to the RFPs, guys. This is related to the XL Center request for proposals to purchase. And we've spoken to C.R.D.A. All of those bidders have to make the building NHL ready. Now, that doesn't mean to bring in an NHL. It has to be up to snuff, good enough for an NHL team. Whether one comes or not, that's regardless, because you're going to have concerts, you know, events, blah, blah, blah.
You have the men's basketball coming.
Right.
And you know what? This is a big deal. You know, this is going to be Hartford's time to shine, because you have all these people in this region coming to Hartford, Connecticut to take part in March Madness.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
we're going to be on the map again.
Yeah, yeah.
And no disrespect to UConn, because UConn women have put us all over the map, and Gino Auriemma is just a fantastic coach.
Absolutely.
And now with Hurley coming in for the men, I see good things on the horizon for them. Now we get UConn football with Randy Etzel. I think you're gonna start to see some things happen. But with the men's basketball championship, or not championships, but the regionals coming in here, this is huge for Hartford. Think of the money being spent at hotels. They're going to be spent at all the restaurants and pubs. And remember, it's not just the fans. These teams have to stay in all those hotels.
That's right.
They have to eat.
Say hello to Joe Lackey.
Joe Lackey, big fisherman out there.
We're going to go fishing with you on the whaler boat.
That's right, we're going to catch a whale.
Yeah, so I mean, you're right about this. I mean, you know, the XL Center to get the NCAA tournament, you know, the UConn programs, you know, when you see what the plans are for that atrium, and actually we should have put a picture up there. We already know the plans for the atrium because they announced them in February 19th, 2015, that was all going to be event space. So when you walk in, before you go into the arena, you're going to have all these fun things to do in the atrium when they get it right and get Northland the hell out of there.
And the other, you know, I think some of that conversation talked about having sports pubs out there.
Right.
And, you know, it's nothing to take away from the downtown business. And those are the other people that really need to get involved in speaking up. Unfortunately, they have followed all of our towns and cities that have sat there as a bunch of silos versus coming together as a team and working together.
Right.
The downtown business district, instead of, oh, I own this, oh, I'm this, I'm that, you know, shut up. All of you get together, have a beer together, because that settles everything. If you have a nice beverage, you sit down and BS with each other. You could put your heads together and really have a force to be reckoned with. You did it. You did it in the public meeting at the C.R.D.A. when we all had to sit up there and talk about it, and everyone went their separate ways. You know what? Take your heads out of your keisters, get going, and you know what? We all come together, and we're going to be stronger with strength in numbers. I mean, it's
ludicrous.
It's frustrating. Do you know that?
Yeah, it's weird when you got to fight. It's almost like Hartford, in terms of its city council and legislature, it's like it has an autoimmune deficiency where it likes to fight itself on progress. So, you know, that's all good and well. But the bottom line about it is June.
You know what Hartford is?
Yeah.
And the state working together with this nonsense with the XL Center. It's like that Abbott and Costello skit where he goes, "You can count on me. 1, 2, 3." They keep on smashing themselves in the face. You know.
It's that bad. And you know, the good news, though, is June 29th, all of the requests for proposals will be in. Somebody will end up being the new owner of the XL Center. And, you know, this eminent domain certainly can pop up again. We don't know how big of a delay this is, but it's there. I don't know if we...
I think we need to testify again.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to move on to the playoffs. Are we short on time? Where are we at?
Yeah, I don't have my phone.
No, okay. Well, Lindsay, show that picture you showed with the hockey arena there, the one that you just had on.
There you go, yep.
Now, this is Washington Capitals, Tampa Bay. We might as well talk a little playoffs because tonight is Game 7. So if you're a big hockey guy,
Who are you going for? Who are you going for?
I took Tampa Bay in 7 a long time ago. I got to stick with my call.
I went Washington in 6, but I want Washington to win tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, the 3-0 shutout, that was huge.
That was an exclamation point.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And that Washington's been in this situation before, where they're like, can we get by this? Can we get through this? And it's a little early for prediction, but I think everybody's waiting for a buzzsaw.
I think whoever wins in the Washington-Tampa Bay series is going to lose to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
They're on a roll.
Yeah.
They've proved themselves. Yeah. They're 500-1 to win that at the beginning of the year.
Could you imagine if you threw a couple dollars on that?
They said if you put $25 down, you'd win $25,000.
Wow. Yeah, and who would do that? But hey, not me.
We could buy a team.
Yeah, exactly.
A low-lying fruit.
So, tonight, keys to the night, definitely Ovechkin, OV.
Not just Ovechkin. TJ Oshie had a great game the other night, and obviously Holtby was strong in between the pipes.
Oh boy, what a turnaround. I'm so happy because I think Holtby's a great goaltender, and, good for him. He's had a great playoffs, and that's what you can't forget about Washington. They got the offensive power. They have the goaltending. The defense is fine, and we looked at this before we came out here.
Yeah.
This year, Washington's scoring it was like a goal more, almost a little bit close to a goal more a game than they were in their previous 2 postseasons. Mm-hmm. But their defense is consistently the same, and you're giving up 2.3 goals a game. That's not a whole lot. You're doing all right, but you need to get that in the threes.
And I was worried about Las Vegas in the first series against the LA Kings.
Yeah.
2-1, 3-2.
That? And that turned out to be how they were doing it.
Yep, and they still did it throughout the next couple series.
Yeah.
There was only a couple where they lit the lamp more than 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and now we got the other series.
Well, the other thing we have to touch on, and not to cut you off, but another former Whaler employee
that's right.
might be let go in Carolina.
Huge story,
Chuck Caton might not be behind the microphone in the upcoming season. And that was just announced, and we put it on our Whalers Brigade page and shared all over the Whaler pages. I just don't understand what's going through their mind. Yeah. Chuck Caton is a Hall of Fame broadcaster. He's absolutely amazing with his statistical data. The man, it's like a history lesson when you listen to him. He brings up these things that, he pulls them out of everywhere. And, Bob Joyce from WTIC 1080 worked for the Whalers Radio Network and has talked about what an experience it was to work with Chuck Caton. And he's just a class act, a great guy, a true professional, and we wish him the very best, whichever way it goes. If Carolina lets him go, it's going to be their loss, really. They're not going to realize it. And they probably just want young guys coming in, and maybe they have someone on the horizon. Maybe his contract's too much. I don't know. But you know what? I think they're going to really blow this one.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be the first time they blow it.
Yeah, no. And it's another strange move by Dundon, And I tell you, at the point that point in his career, it's not like you had to, if you didn't enjoy Chuck Caton calling the games, it's not like he has to put up with him for 25 years. Chuck Caton has how many years left of broadcasting, that he wants to do.
And, I just thought of that. Maybe Chuck wants to go.
I think it would be different.
It didn't sound that way.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that way at all.
But maybe Chuck wants to hang it up.
It's funny. Believe it or not, you guys are going to think we're crazy, but this is, our show, and this is what Whalers do, and Whaler fans and all you do it. Chuck Caton's going to come on this show. We're going to contact him. We spoke to him before the season, and it was kind of starting up, and he's like, it's pretty tough. I got the season coming up, and I said, all right, well, maybe we'll catch you after the season. Now I feel bad because we know what we know, but maybe I'll reach out to him, and Jerry and I maybe we'll get a chance to get him on the show because he was all gung ho. Yeah, come on, talk about everything.
He is coming back for Whaler Weekend.
That's true.
I did hear that.
We could talk about that as well.
So Whaler Weekend is July 27th through the 29th.
Yep.
So get your baseball caps ready, your Whaler baseball caps, your Yard Goats baseball caps. It's going to be right dead in the middle of summer, so make sure you have a cold beer and support the Yard Goats. It's a great facility, and they're working on quite a group of people. So I was talking to Dean Zappalardi the other day, and they did a great job last year, and they're going to redo another great Whaler Weekend. So we'll have to see. Yeah.
Well, we got the other series, of course, Vegas over the Winnipeg Jets. Lindsay, I think we got a picture of the other hockey picture there. So Vegas. It's so surprising still to me as Here we go, Vegas. They go into Winnipeg. They lose the first game, and they lose 4 in a row. And the series is over, just like that, like boom.
That's amazing.
And it got pretty chippy. I don't know if you saw
some
of those.
I love it.
It was pretty chippy, and it was crazy to see some of the pylons, and then you saw Fleury doing his thing where he gave a guy a wet willy or something. Yeah.
But I watched the game the other night when we got to the Tampa Bay Washington series.
Yep.
Now that one, Washington had them from the start. They were physical throughout the first period. Amazing. And again, we are going to see what happens tonight because this is the end.
Yeah.
It's win or go home.
Yeah, it is. This is Game 7. This is what everybody lives for.
I might have to watch a little bit of it when I have a chance.
To figure it out. Yeah, you have to figure it out.
Another big announcement today. The New York Rangers are excited to announce, and there'll be a press conference tomorrow at MSG, that David Quinn has been named the 35th head coach of the New York Rangers. He joins the Rangers after serving as head coach at Boston University for the previous 5 seasons. During that time, he led the Terriers to a 105, 68, and 21 record. Under his guidance, Boston University captured 2 Hockey East tournament championships, 2014-15 and 2017-2018, 2 Hockey East regular season championships, and then he was also, I'm just trying to read through, forgive me. He was also had some AHL experience also. He actually coached under current Arizona's forward Clayton Keller for 1 season back, and they were finalists for the Calder Cup as NHL Rookies of the Year. So, the Rangers will announce this at MSG tomorrow at 11:30. If you can get I guess it's the MSG network, and maybe, I don't know if Yes does that, but that'll be tomorrow 11:30. Glenn Sather will make his announcement for his new head coach, and we wish him the best coming from Hockey East. Obviously did a great job capturing the title this year.
Well, it's funny. It's true about BU and all their success and the championships. They don't play well against UConn.
No.
UConn has had their licks with them. I mean, we've had some games. You know what? It was that huge game this year. So BU won the whole thing. But guess what? They lost 5-4 to UConn.
And it was
in late February.
And anytime those Boston teams come in and we beat them, that's great.
It's huge. And UConn has had several big games where they've beaten BU. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just
in front of a huge crowd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that. I'd like to see that record overall. I don't know it off the top of my head, but they've got at least 5 or 6 wins, I think, against BU over the last couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years.
And I'd love to see the attendance totals as well on those specific games.
Those nights are
because
always over
the last,
6K.
You remember the last time they had to take the curtains down on the ends.
Yeah, that's right. So. That's interesting. Good for the Rangers, I guess, and good luck to them. But see, he'll be working, of course, with Coach McCambridge, who's the coach of the Hartford Wolfpack.
And hopefully we'll get him on this summer before the season starts and they get into training camp.
Now he's got his feet wet. I mean, that team was turned upside down and all around. Started to improve towards the end of the year, but did miss the playoffs.
It was really interesting to see the Wolfpack not having a great season, but the Rangers really not having a great season either. And I don't know, Venio I thought he was a good coach. Obviously he had a bad year this year, and that was the end of that story. So to have both of them having a tough season, it makes you wonder. Coach McCambridge had the right approach when we spoke to him, and there were bits and there was flashes of some positive things happening. It wasn't just a horrible season, but I think it's going to take him time to get his chemistry in with that team, and hopefully this year they can make strides to better themselves and see who they sign. There's numerous signings in the emails that I've received. So
well, it is almost summer, so it's time to get some decorations for your vehicle. And Lindsay, we got a picture here.
We have 1 minute left.
I got something in the mail
yesterday
from a DMV. Believe it or not.
You got the license plate there, Lindsay? Throw it up there.
And
there it is. Look at there.
I got it. You'll notice it's like, what the heck? He just got regular numbers. Now, actually, this is one of those plates where you had to set up the lettering.
Right.
So this is House Bill 5389 for the Whalers license plate.
Which is law.
Jerry and I help kick into law.
There's a lot of kicking.
We said, well, there's a lot of Whaler fans out there. Do this for us now. We never asked for anything.
We did fake smiles, too, when we met those people.
Give us the plates now.
Right? Yeah, give me a plate,
give me the damn
jackass.
No, we are so happy, and thanks so much for everybody that contributed. If you were out there getting signatures, if you helped us, you showed up to events or everything, it's all really because of you guys. If it was just us, this would have never gotten done.
No, we're all under one umbrella here, and we really have a lot of you to thank for helping us out. We're up over about 350 now, so it's a slow process, and people are going to start to get acquainted with what's going on. So get your license plates ordered. It takes about 4 to 8 weeks. Peter just got his.
Yeah.
So Joel Lackey, you get your plates, Joel?
He did.
He did?
Joel Lackey has his plates, and he drives it now. He's got the plates match the boat. The boat match the plates.
Oh, we're good.
And Lindsay, we got one more picture. She might be busy.
Lindsay.
But anyway, I just want to give
a picture.
Shout out to Gino Beats, who has remodernized the Brass Bonanza. He's created a song, which we're going to have him on the show. And what he did was, it's great because he's got the song set to Brass Bonanza. So go to Gino Beats, just like it sounds, on Facebook. And when you see this picture, click on it and you'll go through the song. As you can see, he's got references to Ron Francis. There's references to the Whalers. There's references to Mark Twain, Harriet Beecher, Marlon Starling, the famous boxer, Rick Mahorn, the Detroit bad boy. He does a great job of showing how great, and it whether it's political or not, he's make Hartford great again.
He's a
you
guy.
Can't argue that.
He's a guy like us.
Yeah.
We stick up for Hartford because obviously those people in the freaking gold building are not doing it.
That's right. Make Hartford great again.
Lindsay, what do you got for time? 4 minutes. We're good. Excellent.
All right.
So, what is your prediction right now? Say hypothetically that Las Vegas wins the whole shebang.
Yeah.
That they make the playoffs next year.
Oh, did they make the playoffs next year? Oof. I would say it's very
now you're
probable.
gun shy. You're gun shy because you know what? You're screwed with them this year.
Well, look at Colorado. How bad was Colorado last year? Would you have said they would make the playoffs this year? Probably not, right?
No.
At 27 wins last year?
But I would say New Jersey would have, and New Jersey did very well. They got out of the basement, and they got Taylor Hall had some people he could actually play with this year.
I think Vegas could make the playoffs. I don't know how much the roster is really going to change. Not only that, but they can add some blood to it, new blood, new players.
Depends what those contracts are like.
Yeah,
it's going to be the big deal. Yeah. If these are one-year deals just to see where they go their first season, well, they did freaking great, and they might have to release them all.
Now I'll ask you one: does Winnipeg go further in the playoffs next year than they did this year?
Yes, they do.
Ooh, that means they're
going
to the Cup.
I like Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I like everything about Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Except their winter. Paul Maurice, I think, he did a wonderful job this year.
Yeah.
The 4-1 against Las Vegas, that's nothing to be ashamed about. This is one of those things where you have a hot club.
Yeah.
And I think whoever is going up against Las Vegas better tie on those skates really tight.
Get ready for it. And Winnipeg, I felt like it was just like a tad shy, maybe too young, and they're ready to go now. So next year they could be even bigger and better. Yeah, and Nashville's still a great team, and there's a lot of good teams in the West now.
Well, I think when you get especially when you look at and look at Cassidy for the Bruins, the coach, the head coach.
Yeah.
He did a phenomenal job with a team that was hurt most of the year, especially towards the playoffs. People got hurt, people got suspended for doing stupid stuff.
It's a shame when they don't make the playoffs next year.
Shut up.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the Bruins do. Anyway, but hey, as long as they're in the playoffs.
Okay, do the Rangers make it
next year? No.
I'm going to say yes.
It may be.
I'm going to say yes.
It's up to
because
you,
I think Coach Quinn is going to start something new.
Yeah.
And
maybe
we'll see what he does.
They had quite a fire sale at the end of the season, but they did get a little bit better.
Yeah, they went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I know, that's true.
All right, we have about a minute left.
Yeah.
Join us again next time on the Whaler, guys. We have, a half-hour show tonight because Peter and I have things to take care of.
Right.
And thank you very much for watching us. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Always.
Keep it alive. Keep beating the drum. Call your legislators and tell them to pull their heads out of there.
Tell them to go buy a plate.
Yeah, tell them that.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to cost them anything.
Don't say no to the poor children who it benefits,
That's right.
Yeah. Sounds good.
You go right to hell.
Yeah. The fast way.
So thank you very much for joining us. We're the Whaler guys. You guys are the Brigade, and we are one nation under green. Have a great night.